Today is September 11th, and any other timeline is just your average Thursday. In this one, it marks the 24th year that the world was reminded about that horrible day.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
2 hijacked planes struck through the World Trade Center, perishing thousands of lives, and thousands more injured in various degrees after the towers collapsed. Also, one more hit the Pentagon. This tragic day, known as the 9/11 terrorist attacks, regards as one of the darkest days in human history. In the world of gaming, many properties had to change up or ban certain terrorism, planes, or Twin Towers related topics and imagery because it was too on the nose. Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, despite release in 2000, had to change the box art in later reissues because of this bomber plane looking like it is heading towards the towers. Grand Theft Auto 3 was delayed by a month to remove any references to terrorism, blowing up jumbo jets, and reroute the NPC plane's flight paths to not clip through buildings. Also, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2002 removed the Twin Towers before release. That, and prevent players from reenacting the events. Some of those companies were headquartered some blocks away from the attacks. Can't say I blame them. That's the tip of the iceberg. What if I told you that there's a game got affected by 9/11 so hard they had to cancel it? So gather around, people. Welcome to another episode of Lost Legends. Propeller Arena, a canceled flight. Oh, by the way, I'm covering a Sega Dreamcast game for the first time on any of my YouTube channels for the past 13 years. This is gonna be fun. Okay, maybe not the 9/11 part, but still. It's gonna be fun. Let's get to it. Our flight begins with a Japanese man named Yu Suzuki. You may recognize his name, and no, he had no relation to the car/motorcycle company of the same surname. Yu started out as a programmer for Sega in 1983, beginning with Champion Boxing for the obscure SG-1000. Soon, he worked on some more games, like Hang On, Space Harrier, Afterburner, even frickin' Outrun are the games he has touched. These games are primarily developed by an internal studio known as Sega AM Research and Development No. 2, also known as AM2. This company is Sega's equivalent to Nintendo EAD in my opinion, and they were a powerhouse in the arcades, giving companies like Atari and Namco a run for their money. Though those games are indeed certified hits back in the day, you'll likely recognize Yu Suzuki with one series in particular, Shenmue.
Hey, what's wrong?
However, we're not talking about Shenmue today. We're talking about him and his creation of Propeller Arena. Research for when this game started development was difficult to pinpoint, but my guess is somewhere in late 2000. The game began with the codename Propeller Head Online, where the game's main focus being online multiplayer aerial combat. It could also be some sort of spiritual successor to one of Sega's more obscure titles, known as Wing War. This flight game is a little more interesting. In the distant future of 2045, players will compete in aerial dogfights with 5 other opponents, flying around in modified WW2 planes. They not only fly in the open skies, but also on lower ground, ranging from airports, castles, stormy islands, and the likes. The whole early stages of this game was going to be a bit more realistic, but somewhere down the line, the game changed up some things to be less frustrating and a little more arcade fun. That would have been the right call from here. The game made its appearance in that year's E3, impressing journalists and the like. Like this old article from Gaming Target with their final thoughts during their E3 crusade. Suzuki-san and company are without doubt making sure the Dreamcast goes out with a bang. 3 months and several revisions later, the game seems like it's going on the right track. Not only was rated by the boards, but Goldmaster is made and set to shipping. It's reaching its destination until
9/11.
A game where you do arena aerial dogfighting with a supposed case showing this on the store shelves, went from, oh hey, this looks awesome, to, oh no, that's bad. Sega was definitely shook after they saw the attacks on CNN, or the Japanese equivalent, and some hours later, panicking when they realized they got Propeller Arena about to be shipped to your local Walmart and Toys R Us. 2 days later, Sega Corporation released the following statement. Sega Corporation was greatly saddened to learn of the terrorist attacks on the United States on Tuesday, September 11, 2001. Our deepest condolences go out to the families and friends of those who were injured, or who lost their lives in the horrific events. At this time, we decided to postpone shipment of Propeller Arena on the Dreamcast. Although the game's content does not deal with terrorism in any way, it is possible for a determined individual to deliberately play the game in a manner that generates images similar to those who have seen on the news. We want to avoid causing any additional grief to those involved in this week's tragedy, and feel this is an appropriate action. Again, our hearts go out to those affected by Tuesday's tragic events. So what they're saying is that they're delaying the game, which was planned to be out the next week. The determined individual quote would likely state that old Timmy over there saw the 9/11 news and decided to replicate the events in PA, after playing with his Matchbox Skybusters playing with a pair of Jenga towers. However, in the next month they ended up axing the game overall, likely due to avoid controversy and potential lawsuits. This is a rare case of a completed project that never saw the light of day, though it won't be for long. That's the end of Propeller Arena's development, but this is far, far from the end of PA's legacy. Before we get to that, we need to talk about the game itself. Okay, here's the game in a nutshell. Twisted Metal but with planes. No, wait, it had licensed music, so it's Twisted Metal 3 and 4 but with planes. Okay, it's a little more than that. For one, it has an online mode that doesn't require a separate disc. 2, there's no Calypso to screw over your wish. And 3, the opponents doesn't spam freeze missiles like the bitches they are. The gameplay is unique to say the least. You have a selection of teams piloting their Ford Mustangs, their Lightning McQueens, their Messerschmitt Doofenshmirtz, or their go-to Spitfires. If you start with a quick battle and play for a few matches, you may get the impression that a game about aerial dogfighting that felt too stiff. Well, actually you're playing it wrong, because the game has a dedicated training mode to try out the various tips, tricks, and most importantly, maneuvers by inputting button combos. With those you can do sharp turns, loop-de-loops, fruity-loops, raise up or drop down, and most importantly,
do a barrel roll!
Like real planes, they do have limitations, like dropping down so hard will be difficult to control, or up too high that your plane stalls. Wait, what'd you say? Icarus? You mean Icarus. Like the Iron Maiden song, The Flight of Icarus. Of course there's more to that in this mode, because it's loaded with more challenges, ranging from shooting down missiles, blow things up, fly through rings, etc. The way to win a PA match is simple. Get the most kills, or bingos the game calls it, or shoot down 10 planes before the time runs out. In the championship mode, you have to rack in the most kills or be in the top 3 to progress through the 10 stages. Like a Sega game in the late 90s to early 2000s, we have a range of colorful characters who are represented by these brands. Equivalent to those sponsors some tubers will shell out for rent money, even if they're either shoddy, blatant scams, or health hazards. Yeah, we get Pizza Boys, them Boomers, Kitties, 8-Bit Meats to Beat, Monkey. Linux users, can't think of a funny name for Hex Candy, and when it comes down to the combat portions, you're facing off 5 other opponents who, unlike in most Twisted Metal games, they can infight. Also unlike Twisted Metal, if you die, you respawn a few seconds later. The only weapon equipped are the guns, and since you and your opponents are usually far away, they have limited use. There are a ring of items that you shoot the crates to grab, ranging from red items like the missiles, bombs, and a nuke, yellow items that will screw your opponents over, and green items for recovery. If you want to know about the game, it better be the arenas. You get the wide open sky arena, some canyons, a castle, the Arctic, airport, stormy weather, a frickin' volcano, and Tower City. Now here's the question. Why got the can? Sega didn't exactly give us a solid answer, did they? So it could be anything. I don't know, I'm drawing a blank here, lads. You sure 9/11 in this level was the main cause of this? Tower City is the game's most infamous map. Not due to how it's structured, but, well, you know. It's featured on the American box art of some explosions, or this alternate with an overhead view. Back when this was leaked, it's surreal that you're not only doing aerial dogfights in a city, but in a city that's based off New York, flying around skyscrapers. Back then, it would have felt dirty, like this one site where people archive paywalled Patreon or fanbox content, or even Discord server chats. Artists be damned. The Discord one is just straight sus if you ask me. For the music, it consists of punk rock, ranging from obscure bands like Zero Down, Consumed, Mad Caddies, Old School 101, No Use for a Name, and the one band I do recognize is Rise Against. PA also had its own range of original music, which you are listening to right now. My one complaint here is that even though it's 99% complete, this is a short game, with only a few unlockable planes and 2 extra arenas to play. Personally, that's weak sauce. You should call in the Red Baron with his Fokker triplane sponsored by an actual frozen pizza brand named after him. That would have been awesome. Also, my other complaint is that I believe the elaborate button combos are just unnecessary, and said button combos wouldn't register properly. It would have been a double tap or triple tap in any direction, or have dedicated bang buttons like Turok Evolution, it would have been fine. Then again, it could be a hardware limitation. This clunky predecessor to the Xbox Duke doesn't have a right analog stick, for Christ's sakes. Anyways, Propeller Arena is a decent game in its own right. Right. But if the game was either released earlier or reworked heavily to have the city map removed, then it would have been released with a positive reception. Now, I can't say anything about the online mode that was never up, but it would have been a fun time if other pilot school gets a drop on you. Now it's time to move on. We got more Propeller Arena in the next chapter. Propeller Arena had 7 builds. The one I talked about last chapter was the final build dated 9/11. I'm not making this up. All of these builds were dumped and released by a Dreamcast fanatic and curator of the Sega Dreamcast info site, Combi Laurent. Laurent was responsible for dumping the unreleased Japanese version of Burnout, unreleased PAL version of 4x4 Evo, and a couple builds of the unreleased Dreamcast port of Half-Life. Laurent also dumped and released some of the more cancelled titles, like Argatha, Echo 2, Fear Effect Inferno, and most notably, Castlevania Resurrection. We'll be covering the 5 builds, 4 from each month, and one that will merge the 3 August builds. Our ancient build dates back 5 months. This is noticeably different comparing to the final, starting with a menu where it had a records and web option. One big difference is that there are no voices for any of the characters, nor the DJ, voiced by Greg Irwin. One notable difference is that you're able to find the game's early title, which is known as Propellerhead Aviation Battle 2045. Guessing they changed it to Propeller Arena because it rolls off the tongue, I don't know. Game options is not one screen, but split into sub-menus. There are a couple of debug options like taking damage or shooting bullets, but one menu is inaccessible, apart from memory editing, is the test mode. The planes and pilots do have their own differences. Muscle Brothers is a buff white guy with a green mohawk. 8BB is less silver. Golden Knife wore a different uglier outfit, an early logo. Pizza Fat, known as Pizza King in this build, wore an outfit that fits him. Shameless Cats had a different character model with some hideous eyes that stares into my soul. Hex Candy had a different animation, and both secret pilots used Eagle Jam as a placeholder. The other secret planes weren't made yet. The intro sequence is different but longer, and one big difference here is that all the pilots committed a damning sin. They're not wearing their helmets. You want to know the gameplay? Well, first off, the controls. It's mildly different. The face buttons for shooting and tricks are rearranged, which later became the alternate control scheme for the final. Second, game modes. In the final, there's only a free-for-all, but in this, there's that, but also a team battle but score 10 points, a time attack, and a 4v4 deathmatch. There's also an option for said team modes, one of which is a computer versus computer option, which I'm showing you the clips right now. Sadly, there's no option to switch planes, so you're stuck with this one. The HUD itself is completely different, being extremely crowded with the early character icons, a points bar at the top, general health and speed stats at the bottom left, and radar and timer at the bottom right. One of the icons is misplaced, meaning that box for B2 is empty. One addition is the tactics feature, meant for team battles, but it also shows up in Battle Royale too. Pausing the game shows off an early look, complete with bad English. Exit resumes the game. Reset exits the game and back to the title screen. And game resets exits the game and back to player select. Okay, so what about the actual gameplay? Well, it plays mostly the same if you're playing on Battle Royale, but with the added radar and all your opponents are the same pilots. There are some other changes, like the hot potato pickup was an air mine, and the bomb that can wipe out everyone much quicker, even yourself. One omission is the whole chance time event, where it plays a small cutscene where you get in the back of your enemy plane and plow their ass with bullets. Shooting down their planes are labeled as splash instead of bingo, and the overall way to win this fight is not the amount of kills, but points. Although all of the arenas are in this build, only 4 of them are in its early untextured stages. Old Castle, although untextured, would have had a different colored castle. Phantom Island is clear as day. Far East Ruins only had some boxy buildings and a few Japanese structures laid down. A gigaplane was barely started, showing nothing but a green floor surrounded by grey walls. In the levels overall, the blimps surrounding the play area are untextured. Sound and music are noticeably different. I already mentioned the lack of voices, but the other aspects of sound are changed. There are no warning sound cues, meaning if you're not paying attention, you're getting smoked. The soundtrack also played an alternate playlist, likely consisted of demo tracks compared to the final version. Also, some of the songs had some bad mixing, especially the lyrics where it's getting drowned out by the guitars. I'll send you the link to the whole soundtrack. If you want to know the briefing on the championship mode, well, it's team-based. The rules here are you get the most kills, or fill up the red bar, to move on the next round. It's also points-based as well, and it goes on for 8 rounds before giving you the game over screen after Phantom Island. Overall, this build is more of a what-if scenario where the game is made for team combat. There are some issues, and the most damning piece for me is that radar that's confusing. Yeah, you see that blinking red arrow among the whole mess? Yeah, that's me. Next, our E3 build. There's only 2 options, Team Battle and Battle Royale, and sadly for me, It's 2+ players only. You select only 4 planes with their unique character icons: Eagle Jam, Shameless Cats, Muscle Brothers, and Pango Jets. Then one of the first 4 stages, but they skipped Tower City. The intro is updated a little. Mainly the character pilots are now wearing helmets, showing duplicates of Eagle Jam and the likes. An odd thing here is that this build's asking if I want to save the game, despite there's no other modes. Crazy thing is that the game can also load the save from the April build, and the Redream footage shows off some tomfoolery. About the game modes, Team Battle is where 2 players are fighting off in different teams. The game even polished the cute speech bubbles. Battle Royale also plays the same, but the opponent planes are the exact same as the second players. But alas, this demo isn't much, but later builds removed the whole team mode altogether. Then we have one dated June, complete with debugging features. Well, not really much like regular debugging, but more like the whole view model and stuff gallery. Before we get to that, this build has changed a lot from the April build and is shaping up to be like the final, although there are some differences. The character select screen from the championship doesn't speak, and all 13 planes and 10 stages are playable from the get-go. Shameless Cats' pilot got redesigned as the final. Most of the other pilots like Pizza Fat and 8-Bit Beat changed their outfits to match the final. Shadow and Soul and Ray had their own pilots, and the new ones use Eagle Jam's pilot as a placeholder. Propeller Challenge has been added, but the descriptions of these challenges are in Japanese. Romanized Japanese. The team-based battle modes are removed, but in Quick Battle you still pick your opposing team after selecting yours. Also, the addition of chance time was included, but these happen automatically if you're closer and behind them. Now with those out of the way, the test mode, unlike the April build, is now accessible through the options menu. There's 7 modes in total, and 2 of them I had to reset the game. Object Test is just viewing all the models, even the game's levels. Here's 2 versions of the airport. The brighter one is used, while the other one had some differences, like the very runway strip and launch pads. Sprite Test shows off the game's font sheets. Pressing Y changes the colors. Scroll Test displays the various splash screens. Font Test shows off a wall of text, testing if the fonts from the sprite sheet were used right. Motion Test shows off the character animations. File Test shows off random files. And finally, Sound Test, which is the biggest one. So big that the footage here starts off the 5:30 mark from this half-hour footage. If you want to know something, this build doesn't play Greg Irwin's voice lines, but in this sound test, it plays all sorts of sounds, even the ADX files that contain Irwin's VO, along with a bunch of takes, unused voices, music, etc. I'll get to it in the cut contents. Lastly, our August builds. Now these are more of the same and share some aspects. The pilots now talk.
Right, yeah?
Greg Irwin's lines are used.
Welcome to Training Arena Propeller Challenge. Choose the level.
Finalized soundtrack and everything else is more like the final version. One difference comparing to the June build is that you don't get everything from the get-go. However, comparing to the final version, let's say differences are extremely minor. So let's move on to the pre-release. For the pre-release stuff, I ain't got much to show ya. That and most of the images found on the web were one of the 7 builds we just covered. I got a couple that seem to be a tad interesting, which are these early multiplayer screenshots, dated likely before or after the April build. Note the alternate HUD, the empty character icons, and the tactics command are just text instead of their own icons. Then I'm gonna jam in the concept art portion here because why not, and show off the renders of the main cast. The only 2 that are not 3D were Eagle Jam and Shameless Cats. Guessing Shameless during this time was getting redesigned to look more like a pilot and not a biker. Also 2 plane renders, Muscle Brothers and Pizza Fat, formerly Pizza King. For footage, this here's the official Japanese trailer for PA, complete with genuine English. There isn't much I could tell you since the footage here is likely from the June builds, but I'll translate the on-text for you. Keep note this isn't exactly accurate. Now this could refer to the game's open level design. Game is easy to pick up and play, plus it had the propeller challenge for the added replayability. I don't need to translate that. The game had 20 songs from both ends, original and licensed punk rock. It has an online mode where you compete with 6 players with a leaderboard. I don't need to decipher that one kanji to know that. Okay, not an accurate translation because of the low quality video. Can't blame me though, I tried to decipher those white blobs. I'm guessing that this is the first game in Japan to have voice chat, which I never mentioned in the first chapter. Back then, the ability to talk with other players through the network is a novel concept. Revolt on Xbox was going to have such a feature until that too was cancelled. Game's going to use the Dreamcast microphone, the same one used for Seaman, I assume. And lastly, this is a clip from a game that's supposed to be the E3 version. I already showed you the E3 build, and this clip shows off the single player bit, which our E3 build didn't have. It does show off a different full screen HUD, with the general speed and health stats at the bottom left, team deathmatch icons and points bars, and etc, etc. Anyways, let's move on to the cut contents. I was about to skip this bit until the debug build shows off the goods. Now, despite the lack of, cutting room floor efforts on a cancelled game, the only song they dug up was Zero Down's Empty Promised Land, which only played in mono. The debug build sound test menu has a section of BGM that's used, 17 in total, but the section before that had more. Much more. I already mentioned Greg Irwin's lines in alternate takes, but there are some unused lines like him shouting,
Don't shoot! Friendly! Bingo! 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 Gotcha! Damn! Got me!
There's also another DJ that was cut. Alan J was his name. Here's a listen.
That's what I call an invigorating number. I'd love to listen to the song under a clear blue sky. Wouldn't you like to do the same, boys and girls? Hey, that would definitely help me forget all the bad things in life. I especially love the dynamic solo. That was a beautiful song.
Next, the music. There are some that doesn't seem to be used in the final. However, one section labeled as extra has a handful of unused music that doesn't fit with the rest. I don't know my jazz music, but I bet the Content ID system would pick it up and answer the call. Take a listen. Good stuff, good stuff. Now let's move on to the next chapter. In the miscellaneous chapter, anything goes. About the builds. Even though they're dumped sometime between August 2021 and September 2023, I already told you the game was actually released sometime and somewhere all the way back in 2004, according to this blogger and his old fan site. A couple of Assembler forum users known as Service Games and Belloc got a pre-release copy and had them dumped to some peer-to-peer services like Napster, or some real ancient ROM sites that was probably nuked by Nintendo like SNESorama. Speaking of which, The SNES-O-Rama forums also had a build of PA, and the forum moderator dumped it in April 21st, 2006. Via Mega Upload. Man, remember that site? Yeah, that's a relic that got super nuked by the feds. It took me a while, but I did found the old 2004 ROM in question. And guess what? This is the 911 build with some modifications just to get this game running on regular Dreamcasts. One notable change is on the Sega screen before the ROM boots up. There's the name of the cracker. Also, the build they got was modified and compressed to fill in a CD-ROM, meaning that they had to compress the music, convert them to mono or something. And yeah, and that's pretty much it right there. I think it's time to end things, shall we? This episode was quite quicker than the previous ones. That, and it's not an hour's length. This was a special case where an unexpected event caused the game to be dropped. I mean, it's unfortunately the right call, but even if they decide to scrap the city level at the last minute, it would still make controversial headlines in my opinion. If 9/11 didn't happen, then the game will be released without a hitch. Hell, maybe GTA 3 would still have the blue police cars, or Family Guy won't have any 9/11 jokes, but still making fun of Bin Laden. It's a damn shame, but to Sega, games just a drop in the bucket when they discontinued the console back in January 2001. Yeah, the final Sega console they made only lasted 2 years, possibly due to poor sales, bleeding money, the ripples of the Saturn's failure, especially in the US, and not to mention, the competition. More so against Sony's PlayStation 2, where not only it plays the hottest games, backwards compatible, plays The Matrix on DVD. So what does the Dreamcast have? An LCD memory card double as a mini console, and about 10 games you could probably name at the top of your head and nothing else. Oh, and Windows CE. For Yu Suzuki, he still made games for Sega until September 2011, where he left the company, but not fully, to form his own studio known as YeastNet, who at the time of 2025 only made a whopping 3 games: Shenmue 3, Air Twister, and recently Steel Paws. The latter 2 are mobile games. AM2 on the other hand, still developing both console and arcade games, ranging from the Virtual franchise, Border Break, and some Hatsune Miku games. That's all for today. The next Lost Legend is another cancelled game, but instead of Flying Aces High that's cancelled due to tragic reasons, we're looking at the opposite, to the depths of hell, where a blood sport of 4 deranged lunatics fight to the death in boxy rooms, wearing kinky leather outfits. Cancelled for petty reasons that isn't just fetish material. But first, the next video is an overdue update follow-up on Shantae, along with part 3 where I covered the GBA game I got in my possession since April. I still have footage sitting in my project hard drive since March. That's how far I'm behind. Anyways, I'll see you later. Bye.